Next Gen Goalkeeping podcast. Can only see you.
Yeah.
Are we there?
Yep.
Okay. Guys, how have you been through the lockdown and stuff like that?
Yeah, good. Like we've just been getting through kind of weekly schedules that our S&C coach is sending. So it's been really good, like in a fitness perspective, because we've got a set plan like every week to follow. So and we've all been added to like a running group. I think it's like Strava Night Plus, where we can see like leaderboards, who's running the most. Like, and I'm doing quite well, to be fair. Like I'm near the top of the leaderboard of running, so getting my fitness up, which is definitely a positive. To be honest, like something out of this situation.
So you reckon you're going to end up playing outfields?
Yeah, like I could probably challenge a few of them for their places at this rate, because I'm near the top of the leaderboard and I'm going, well, I'm a keeper, so maybe potential new career change there. Yeah.
Yeah. Stick to where we're playing and goal, so a lot better.
Yeah. Well, it's hard to, like, I'm going, can I even catch by this point? Because you can get someone to kick a ball at you, like, but it's not, like, it's hard to get that same kind of goalkeeper training unless, I don't know, you've got someone in your family that knows what they're talking about. Like, it is hard, but yeah, I'm just looking forward to getting back, to be honest.
Do none of your family like football then, or are none of them into it?
Literally none. Like, to this day, like, our whole family is so confused why I'm even into football, because we're not even a sporty family. It's not even like, sometimes you've got a high level performer in another sport, but like none of us like sports, so I don't know. Like, it's even when they come to watch me, like, sometimes they're trying to tell me stuff, and I'm like, but you don't know what you're talking about. So I don't know. Yeah, so I don't know why I got into it in the first place, because there's, like, my brother hates football. My dad, like, he watches it a bit, but it's not like I was pushed into it. So I think just from a young age, I've like just been drawn to it somehow. Like, it's all I've known, which is weird, really. But yeah.
Now, can you lift the camera up a little bit for us?
Oh yeah.
There
There.
we go.
There.
Nearly there. Bit higher.
There.
Yeah, that's it. Couldn't see your face. So if you can run us through your... What did you say?
I can't see that. Can't see the screen.
Okay.
But is that right? There?
Yeah, just keep it up there. That's it. If you...
What is it? Is it just the bottom half of the screen?
That's it. Now it's fine. We can see you. That's it.
Should I flip it around up there?
No, it's okay. Just stay the way you was. All right. The way it was. That'll do. Stay there. So if you can run us through your career, where you started at Brighton, didn't you? 15, 16.
Yeah. So oh, sorry. I don't like this thing. Yeah. So I was in the Centre of Excellence at Brighton.
Yeah.
From 2015. So when I was 15, I was in the under-17s. And then I kind of moved through into the first team setup and like the DS, and so that's the development, like the reserve team. And then so when I was 16, the number one at Brighton got injured, and she was out for probably like half the season, like the business end of the season. So I then like was called step up and play a few games. And looking back now, like, that's still probably the most valuable thing that could have happened, like, as a player. Like, that experience is invaluable, like, because at the time I was going like, I'm not ready. Like, I didn't at the time I almost didn't want it, like, even though that sounds bad, like, I was a very nervous goalkeeper, like, and I hadn't had that experience to like any level before that, because before that, I don't know, half a season at the the centre of excellence, I was at grassroots, like not taking it seriously at all. So then to like, I'm a year, if that, into like my career, and I just got thrown in. Like they were going for promotion, and it was like a situation where they had to win every game. Like so, every single mistake I made it felt like very costly. It felt like I was kind of, bringing the team down. But I mean, everyone was really supportive. Like it was never like anyone else getting at me. It was just myself. Like I wanted to be better for the team, and obviously I was very hard on myself because I did like the best I could in that situation because I wasn't the number one, and like the manager had enough faith to play me, and in the end like, I did quite well, but at the time it didn't feel like it because it was just a different level that I'd experienced before, so I'd make a lot of mistakes, but now it's kind of shaped me as a keeper now. Like I still reflect on those games and I'm like they've shaped me like more than anything else since then, to be honest.
Well, as a goalkeeper, even now, what, are you 21, are you? I think you said you was, weren't you? 21.
21 in June.
So, in goalkeeping terms, you're still really, really young, aren't you? So, you're still developing anyway. And to go to team at 16, you're still a baby for the level that you're playing at. So, as I say, you're literally still developing, so you're not even at your peak yet. So, you play for for Brighton. You helped most promotion, didn't you, that season?
So I played a few games. Yeah, all the games I played was at the end of the season, so they were kind of it was mad pressure. Like even as a normal player, they were under pressure, and I was like a little baby, and I was under so much pressure. So yeah, I think I give myself a bit of credit now, but at the time, I gave myself none. Like I was very hard on myself at the time.
It's some achievement at 16 years of age to play in goal for, in theory, a really strong side, and especially a side. The manager's got I think the manager's got a lot as well, because for him to put a 16-year-old keeper in goal when he's going for promotion shows how faith he's had in you, really.
Oh yeah, no, 100%. Like I say, that whole time was so like pivotal, really, for me, and it will continue to be because it's only on reflection that I realised kind of how much faith the team had in me and how much faith he had in me to even like, he could have brought in another keeper realistically, but he liked what I was about, and I think because I'd shaped my whole like goalkeeping philosophy around the team and like wanting to play out, that's now carried through into just like what I'm about as a keeper. I like to play out, I like to use my feet, and that's all thanks to that time because of how because of how he and the other coaches like kind of molded me into that, and I just naturally fit it as well, but like he deserved massive credit, and the rest of the team for even, I say, putting up with me, but like it can't have been ideal for the team going for promotion to put in a keeper who's fairly mistake prone and just not experienced, but everyone had my back, so it was crazy, but it's good.
So you got promotion with Brighton. Was it Lewis? Was it Lewis that come in and took you at the beginning of the following season?
So then I had another year at Brighton after that season. In fact, I had another 2 years, but because after we then got promotion, obviously, like we were saying, I was still a baby, really, in terms of goalkeepers. So they brought in a few other keepers for those 2 seasons. So I was then going in and out between firsts and reserves. And I think because I'd had that taste when I was so young of like first team football and how different it was, even to reserve football, I then, after 2 seasons, I was going, I don't really want reserve football anymore. And even though I was still at the age where, I could have happily played reserves. I didn't want that, so I was then looking to be a number 2 or number 1, solid, like, you know, definitely in the first team rather than being a bit in and out. So I then decided to leave Brighton, even though, I think I took as much as I could get from Brighton,
Yeah.
and it was just the right time to leave. Even though it was, I probably grew so much from the training and everything else, but it was just the right time to get first team football. So I went to Lewis, which was in the WSL2 last year, championship last year, and I was number 2 there.
Okay.
Yeah.
How did you find it there being number 2? Was it tough or?
It was tough in terms of I needed that year to kind of get a bit of confidence in myself that I could play like at the first team level, because even though I did well when I had to at Brighton and I was so young, I feel I still had a bit of reservations, even though everyone else was going, yeah, you're good enough to play at this level. The coaches clearly thought I was, but I still didn't think it because of how many mistakes I was making and stuff. Like, I didn't feel like I was still wondering, like, am I ready, kind of thing. So I think last year was really valuable in terms of playing in the championship. Like, I think I played 7 or 8 games, 6, 7 games, something like that, and I did fairly well in all of them. So it was more of a mindset thing for me, like, of switching a bit of confidence on, like, in my game. So that was, again, like, another valuable year, I think, because from that's why I've then gone on to Watford and said, I can be a number 1 now because I've shown it, and now I believe it, whereas before I didn't really believe it, kind of thing.
So the Watford move come. When did you find out about the Watford move?
That was at the end of the season. So that was literally July. So at the end of last season, with Lewis, when I was the number 2, I then decided, okay, I'm not gonna, like, they had a solid number 1 who I've worked with. I worked with her at Brighton as well, and she's good. She's a really good level, and she's got tons of experience on me. So I was thinking, I'm probably going to be up for another season of being number 2 to her if I stay, and I didn't really want that because I'd hit the level where I needed to get game time. I needed another year of getting that game experience not at reserve level, not like here and there, like a solid run of week in, week out, getting games.
Games under your belt.
Yeah, like getting as many as possible, just to iron out, the issues with my confidence, iron out my playing out and stuff like that. So I decided to leave Lewis before I even had another club.
Okay, so you're going anywhere regardless.
Yeah, I just said, look, I'm gonna go find a number 1 spot. I'll see how it goes, kind of thing. So I then spent the whole of summer and pre-season kind of going in and out between like going just across the country, really, like going into training sessions, speaking to managers. Like, I had a few offers just straight off the bat when I got released. Not when I got released, when I announced that I'd left Lewis, I got a few offers there. So I went, I was in talks with a few clubs. And then
Can you let us know any of them clubs, or something you want to say?
Pardon, I'm not going to say. Yeah, I went for a few training sessions here and there, and none of them were kind of, I don't know, like, they just weren't clicking. Like, it wasn't, they were good clubs, like good levels. I would have been happy if I went to any of them, to be honest.
Yeah.
But it was just there was always one thing that I was going, not sure about that. So then in my head, I was going, well, I know Watford's used to be, you know, one of the top clubs. They still are, but they've dropped into a league where I could be number one, basically, because they were now in the National League, which is just below the league I was in last year. So they're in tier 3, and I knew in my head that they should be higher, and they're trying to go higher. Like, they've got ambition, and
Mhm.
that's probably something I didn't see in any of the other clubs. And I wanted to go somewhere that I was happy. Like, you know, I wanted to stay there and build my career with one team rather than build, because I've moved quite a lot as a young player already. So I wanted to go to a team which matched their ambition, and I was actually the one that contacted Watford, and I think I went to one of their open trials or something like that, and then I was talking to them, and then it and as soon as I went to the first one, I was like, this is like, I have to make this happen. Like, whatever it takes, this is where I'm going to be. So then I was in talks with them, and I was just like, look, this is my number one choice. I've got other clubs pushing me, because I think the other club, they kind of knew that I was debating it, kind of thing, and they were like, look, we need an answer by this week. And I was going, just give me a sec. Like, it was a stressful time, but
Let me
I
buy
knew.
some time till Watford give me the offer.
Pardon?
Let me buy some time till Watford
Yeah,
come in.
it was really, like, because I I don't know if it sounds bad, but that's where I wanted to be. Like, I knew it, and if they offered everything that I wanted, I was never going to turn them down, because it just was the right club for me. They're pushing for promotion. They want to climb up the leagues, and as a player, that's what I wanted as a young player as well, to get game time, but also be pushing for something and try and get back to where realistically they belong, because their setup is just second to none. Like, it's it doesn't belong in that league. The setup they have, like, it's, I don't know how to describe it. It's like they're integrated with the men. Like, we play at the training ground. We've got everything that the top, like the really top Super League teams have. So as soon as I saw that, it was like a done deal. Like, that's what I wanted. So yeah, that's when I got that, I was buzzing. I was so happy when they um offered my spot. Yeah.
So you've gone to Watford, and how was you doing before this coronavirus hit us?
So I'd say we were on track to go up to, well, get promoted, as long as our, because you have to apply to go up the leagues. So we'd put our application in, and we were just waiting to hear back on it, because we were second. Well, we finished second in the league, but we had a few games in hand. So really, we were on course to. We wanted the title, really, and we were very confident that we were going to get it. To be honest, because we started well, but we were still gelling as a team, because it was a completely new team. Like, from last season, they brought in so many, like, high class players that it took a bit of time for us to gel. But once we got it, we started hitting our stride, really. Like, there wasn't a game that we went into thinking we weren't going to win. Like, even if we started playing badly, we knew we'd turn it around. It was like one of them. So it was a really good feeling in the team, and it's kind of come at
Bad time.
honestly, such a bad time, because we were really just hitting our form. Like, as we started, like, kind of playing the exact way that we'd set out to play at the beginning of the season, with the quality of players that we had. So I think we were ready to kind of start building up steam and winning every single game, which, we were doing anyway. I think we've lost one in the season, but um we've never looked like, dropping from the top two, really. So it was probably looking to be a battle between two of us in the end. So yeah, it is disappointing, but I know that we're just going to carry on where we left off, really.
That's what it's
Next
completely
season.
do is kick on next season, and it's basically 12 months together, so you go again and hopefully get promoted next season. It's not ideal, but
exactly. Like obviously it is frustrating to just be pushed back a season, as a team and even personally, because, as players, we've all got individual aims of where we want, what league we want to be in, where we want to get to. So for all of us, it's frustrating, but I think, like I said, the reason I joined Watford is that I know they've got a good thing going there. So I think all of us will feel the same, that we're ready to just go straight back and kind of continue what we was doing in this season and push on further, really.
well, let's go away from football. So what do you do to unwind outside of your football?
If I'm honest, I don't really switch off of football at all. That's probably one of my problems, to be honest. Like if anyone that looks at my social media, they're just going, "What do you even do other than football? Like, do you have friends? Like, do you go out?" And I'm like, I feel like, I don't know. That's just my whole life. But I mean, at the moment, I do digital illustration and like graphics, so that's like where I get my money from, and that's kind of ideal with my football because I'm basically self-employed. Like I just take my laptop and then I'm sorted. So I do like commissions of like illustrations and like I make posters, just casual graphic work, really. So that's probably my only other like thing that I enjoy, to be honest, because otherwise all the time it's like, even now we're on lockdown and I'm like watching games back and like making notes and like I'm a bit obsessed, to be honest, but I don't mind. I think you have to be in a way, to be honest.
If you want to get to the top, mate, that's what you've got to be, and it really, really is dedicated and obsessed with it.
Yeah, exactly. And I think because especially of the opportunities I've had at such a young age, like, since I was 16, the level I've played at, it makes you want it more. And like any time that you feel like you're wasting, it kind of gets to me. Like that's why I'm having to make a positive out of this whole lockdown and not being training, because I'm thinking like this is lost time. Like I need to get something out of it, whether it's, become more powerful, like doing my jumps and like my plyos and stuff, getting fitness. Like I'm just trying to get one thing that I can say like, well, I didn't waste that time. Like I've improved this, and like I'm going to go back with at least that one thing in a better position than it was before. So I think I'm just trying to become not become but kind of get that attitude nice and early, so that I don't know, like I continue to stay at this level and get even higher, even though I am young, because I want to do it when I'm young. Really, I want to be that keeper that is a step above, not a step above, a step like ahead of the others, where I've got that edge on them, that I'm a bit more agile, or because I'm younger, I'm a bit more, I don't know, like
Flexible.
Or I've got something on everyone else, because I'm already, just purely by not having the experience of some other keepers, I'm already at a disadvantage in a way, because some managers will think, oh, she doesn't have the experience, she's too young, she's not ready, like she should play reserves or something, and I'm like, I don't want that. So I've got to I have to do extra, really, to try and match people that I've got 5-10 years on me. I have to do extra. Yeah, I think I like it. I like the challenge.
like the pressure. So, who was your goalkeeper icon growing up?
Um,
What
it
goalkeeper
was
did you follow?
it was probably Pepe Reina to start with. I don't know. I'm not just saying this because you're from Liverpool, but I really used to like Liverpool.
Okay.
So I was obsessed with Liverpool when I was like 8, I think. So when it was like Pepe Reina, Steven Gerrard, um, I really liked Reina just because he was such a good shot stopper. I mean, at that age, that's all I saw. But he was so like agile and just save everything. And
Great with
then
his feet
after
as
that,
well.
pardon?
Great with his feet as well.
Yeah. I mean, I wasn't really looking at that to be honest when I was younger, but then when I was older, it was probably I liked Mark Schwarzer because he was just
Schwarzer.
massive. Schwarzer, yeah, because it was just so big. And then I think probably my main one was Jordan Pickford. I mean, it still is to be honest because obviously his distribution is just ridiculous. Um, but I'm not really a massive football person, which sounds really weird. But I've never, I'm not really a football fan as such. Like I just watch it purely for like the goalkeepers.
No.
That's where I'm at. So I like Schwarzer and I like ter Stegen. Not Schwarzer, sorry. Right now I like Pickford. Um, like he's made me obsessed with the sidewinder, as probably everyone has. um, so like when he first came onto the scene like a few years ago, I was at Brighton and I tried every single session to like copy his sidewinder because it was really when he was probably the first to, I don't know if he was one of the first to do it, but he was probably the one of the first that I saw doing it. And every single session I would try and copy the sidewinder, and all I'd get from my coach was Nina, stop sidewinding. Like I'd be doing it when she was trying to talk, and like I don't know, the strikers would be shooting, and I'd be like sidewinding into the net, and everyone would be going, stop, like please stop sidewinding. And I was like, no. And now I can do it quite well, so no regrets. I still do
So,
it. I still get phone calls for it, honestly, but I'm like, I've got to get my practice in.
so hopefully you'll get to the women's prem within a couple of, well, as I say, next 5 years maybe. Hopefully,
Yeah,
because if people are trusting you to play at such a young age in goal, I've seen a few videos of you. You've got quite a lot of ability. So let's hope that you can get to the prem in the next 5 years or so.
yeah, that's definitely the aim. Um, I'm hoping probably next 2 years. I've got a bit of a plan where I'm trying to hit. Obviously, we're at a bit of a setback right now, but yeah. I mean, even if I could do it with Watford, that's really what I want because I think that's where they're going. Um, that's where the club wants them to go. So, I'd be very happy if we could do it. If I could go through it with them, to be honest.
Well, it sounds like they've got the facilities to go all the way that way, doesn't it? Really. So
Yeah, like they've got the backing. They've got the club is so behind them that it makes sense really for them to be competing at that level because they've probably got better facilities and backing than some of the higher teams do. So it would make sense for them to go that way.
okay, right off the football script. I believe you started a new clothing range, haven't you yourself?
I have, yes. So that's so obviously because I'm extremely bored, firstly, in quarantine.
So you've done it because
Um,
you're bored.
yeah, I mean, it is, I say that, it's something I've been meaning to do, but obviously, in season, I'm just football, football, football. So, yeah, like as part of my graphics, I had a few people asking me to do like hoodies and clothing and stuff. So, because I do illustration, I'm an illustrator. I did like an illustration of Brighton because that's where I live. and it's quite a touristy like destination anyway. So they've been doing quite well. I've just put them on sale, and I'm gonna probably after this I'm looking to go into like different places. So obviously I'm going to do a Watford one. Like I've been asked to do a Belfast one already, and I'll probably go into football stadiums as well. So like I'll probably first one I'll do is Vicarage Road, obviously, and I'll illustrate it and put it on the back of the hoodie. And then I'll just take like custom orders. So if there's like a Brighton fan that wants the Amex, then I'll make an Amex one. Like, yeah.
So you're going to do they're going to be personalised hoodies, really?
Yeah, like basically personalised to like whatever club or whatever kind of place and like postcode that you want. So that's where I'm looking to go with it. Yeah.
What we'll do, we'll put a link in our description for them to basically get in contact with you, if that's okay. So if anyone wants a hoodie, speak to Nina and you can get your own customs hoodie.
Yeah, definitely.
If you go onto the social media, I've seen some of the hoodies, they're fantastic.
Thank you. Yeah. They've done quite well. They've done a lot better than I thought they would. So it's good. Yeah, because that was just the tester. Really, what I'm going into is the personalised ones, but even just the standard Brighton ones done really well. So that's good. It means that I can go into the taking requests, which is what I want to do really. So yeah.
Okay. Well, that's all we've got today off Nina. Thanks for joining us. You've been brilliant. And as I say, if anyone wants any graphic work or any hoodies off Nina, just drop her a message. I'm pretty sure she'll look after you.
Definitely, especially now I've not got no training, so I'd love something.
All right, thank you, Nina.
Thanks for having me.
Thanks. Okay, see you later. Good luck with your season when we start again.
Yes, hopefully. God. See ya.
Okay, bye now, bye.